But let's talk about what this really means for the fans, the sport, and for someone like Kishane Thompson. Because at this point, people don't just want to see him show up. They want to see him dominate. They want to see that 9.77 energy. But instead, we're seeing him jog through a relay with zero stakes and barely any competition. And that's the real problem. Because what's the point of calling something a professional meet if the professionals aren't pushing themselves? You've got guys in high school running sub 1020 right now with more intensity than what we saw in that relay. And I get it. It's early in the season. No one expects Olympic level performances in April. But if you're going to show up in front of cameras under the Continental Tour gold banner with your name tied to the fastest time of the year, then fans expect something, anything, a glimpse of fire, a spark of urgency. And in this case, we didn't get any of that. Instead, we saw what looked like a glorified practice run. And here's the kicker, it wasn't even executed well. The handoffs were shaky, the time wasn't good, and it ended in a loss. How's that supposed to build hype around one of the fastest men on the planet? Look, no one is saying every race has to be fireworks, but if you're calling it professional, then it better come with some level of professional standard. We're not watching these races because of the heat sheets. We're watching them because we want to see the best compete. We want to see what makes someone like Kishane Thompson different. That's why Grand Slam track matters so much right now. Because GST is trying to bring back a level of prestige, structure, and expectation that the sport has been missing for a long time. You can't just slap a label on a meet and expect fans to care. You've got to deliver. GST is saying, you want in? Prove you're worthy. Show up ready. No coasting. And honestly, that kind of gatekeeping might be what the sport needs. Because as Coach Rob pointed out, if these races are going to continue to feel like off-season walkthroughs, we might as well watch training videos on Instagram. Fans want real rivalries, real races, real competition, not mystery appearances and one-off relay events with zero promotion. It's not enough anymore to just be fast. You've got to compete fast and consistently. Otherwise, what are we even doing? This whole thing with Kishane Thompson highlights a bigger issue with how track and field is marketed. You have one of the most promising sprinters in the world, a legit Olympic threat, and his appearance at a meet isn't even on the radar until people see a random clip of him anchoring a low-energy relay. How does that happen? It's missed opportunity after missed opportunity. Imagine if we actually knew ahead of time that Kishane was running. Imagine if they hyped it, gave him a proper spotlight, and set expectations. Then at least fans would know what to tune in for, but instead, it's radio silence until the footage starts circulating after the fact, and even then, it's disappointing. And yeah, some people are gonna say it's too early in the season, that he's saving himself for the real stuff later, that he's protecting his body, and that's all valid. But if that's the case, then don't show up at all, or don't let it get presented as a marquee moment. Because if you're stepping on the track wearing your country's colors, fans are going to pay attention. And they're going to expect something worth remembering. What happened in Miramar, wasn't it? The good news? There's still time. There's still a full season ahead. There's still a chance for Thompson to step up, silence the critics, and prove he's not just a one-time headline, but a consistent force. But that starts with accountability. Not just from the athlete, but from meet organizers, from his team, from the sport as a whole. If track and field wants to grow, if it wants to hold fans the way other sports do, then it has to stop treating early season races like casual Sunday jog. There's no off switch in the NBA, no coasting in the NFL. Every game matters. Every performance counts. That's the culture. And that's what GST is trying to bring back to track. So now the spotlight's back on Kishane. Not because he lost, not because of a slow relay leg, but because fans want to believe. They want to believe that the 9.77 wasn't a fluke, that he's more than hype, that there's something real brewing here. Now, here's the twist. This isn't just about one race or one athlete. This is about the message it sends to every rising star in track and field. If someone like Kishane Thompson, who literally ran the fastest 100-meter time of the year, can appear in a race with no buildup, no stakes, and no real intensity, what's stopping others from coasting through their seasons the same way? And that's dangerous. Because once the sport starts settling for just showing up, the fans lose interest. The rivalries disappear. The hype dies. What made track electric in the past were the moments when titans clashed and sparks flew. Think Bolt versus Gatlin, Flojo setting the world on fire, or even more recently, Sha'Carri Richardson lighting up the track with both performance and personality. That's what fans crave, and they deserve it. So when people tune in to see Thompson, they're expecting something, anything that reminds them of the guy who shocked the world with that sub 9.80 earlier this season. Instead, we get a throwaway anchor leg on a relay that looks like it was thrown together in 5 minutes. And let's be real, that 4x1, it didn't look professional. It didn't feel professional. It barely looked competitive. Now, nobody is saying he needs to go all out every single meet, but if you're going to be there, be there. Don't treat it like background noise, because for the fans, this is the main event. Let's flip it the other way. Imagine if the Miramar invite had positioned this properly, promoted Kishane's appearance, maybe built a little suspense about his condition. Is the world's fastest man ready to go again? That's a headline. That's marketing. That's how you keep track fans and casuals coming back. But instead, it's just another missed chance. Now compare that with what Grand Slam track is trying to do. They're crafting a system where every race means something. Where showing up isn't enough, you've got to earn your way into the spotlight. And once you're there, you have to compete. That structure, it matters. And it's missing from way too many meets. GST is basically saying, no more freebies. No more sleepwalking through heats. No more ghost appearances. If you're here, it's because you belong, and the world will see why. And that's exactly why people are rallying around it, because we've had enough of the inconsistency. Enough of the guesswork. We want athletes to show up hungry. We want to see that killer instinct, the kind that makes every single race feel like something big is on the line. Because when someone like Chris Bailey shows up and unexpectedly smokes the 400 meters with a world-leading time, that's the energy. That's what keeps fans engaged. We're not asking for world records every weekend. We're asking for effort, intent, a little fire in the eye. And it's not just about the athletes either. Meet organizers need to hold themselves to a higher standard too. If you're putting on a pro-level meet, act like it. Don't slap Gold Tour branding on it just to fill quotas. Build a narrative. Get fans invested. Showcase your stars. Don't just quietly sneak them into a random heat or relay. Because let's face it, casual fans aren't watching a shaky YouTube clip of a 4x1 with 2 teams jogging for the finish. They're watching social media highlights. They're watching live streams. They're waiting to feel something. And when you give them flat energy, they check out fast. And the real danger? When you repeat that cycle enough times, you lose a generation of fans who might have fallen in love with the sport, if only you gave them a reason to. That's why GST, despite its early critics, is on the right track. They're betting on structure, on accountability, on performance. And that's a bet this sport needs right now. So Kishane, if you're planning your next race, make it count. Not for us, but for you. Because right now, you're not just running for the win, you're running for legacy. And that's not built on 4x1 relays with no fire. It's built in the spotlight, under pressure, with everyone watching, waiting, and wondering, can he do it again? That's the question now. Not whether you're fast, we already know that. The question is, when it matters most, will you show up ready to burn the track down again? We're waiting.